Man, if you want peak cringe content, here it is.
Good morning, Medina High School. I'm Matthew Patrick.
Every time. Hey, this is MatPat from the end of the video who remembered at the very end of this meme review that I should have reminded you at the top that there is a live stream happening tomorrow, Saturday, February 19th at 11 p.m. Pacific time. Nope, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Matt's going to throw up the dates and times right here, right there. So that way you can be there and join us, members from Team Theorists, other YouTubers who talk about FNAF theories. Come on, talk, share your theories with us. It'll be a nice casual hangout and something to do on a Saturday afternoon. So I hope to see you there. And now, on with the meme. There's some good stuff coming. I know because I just filmed it. So get ready. I say Music Man a lot. It's very hype. Hey guys, and welcome to GT Not Live, where we're not live, which means that I'm allowed to talk about the fact that the Super Bowl was yesterday and that today is Valentine's Day. That's right, this is pre-recorded. I think this one's going up on Friday, but we're filming it on Monday. And so I'm talking about things that are happening either concurrently with today or yesterday. Matt, did you watch the Super Bowl? Did you watch the big game, as it were?
What do you think?
Yes, you and all your friends and housemates got together, donned your novelty football helmets. No, actually, I don't strike you as donning your novelty football helmets. Instead, I picture you flipping your novelty football helmets over and using them as bowls of dip.
Delicious dip bowls.
Yeah, dip bowls, certainly. And I feel like you got your pork rinds and your nachos.
Yeah.
Your 7-layer dips. And you rooted for your local favorite teams, be it the Cincinnati Bengals or the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, no, you're spot on.
Yeah, and I also... that's me being facetious. Me not being facetious. Did you know who was performing at the halftime show?
I did.
Did you know that prior to yesterday?
No.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
And so when I'm like, wait a minute, we were just discussing exactly these individuals. My mind was blown. For those of you who don't know, the other day on GT Not Live, we were talking about how I'm going down this rabbit hole of like hip hop and rap music from like 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
And we hit exactly that,
Yeah,
man.
lo and behold.
That was crazy.
Yeah, my mom FaceTimed me at like 9:30 last night and was like, did you see? And I was like, did I see what? And she was like, your faves. They were all performing.
Your faves!
And I was like, I forgot it was the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about? And then I was like, oh.
Yeah.
The sport.
The sport ball. Yeah. Yeah, it was like Dre and Eminem was there.
Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, Mary J. Blige was there. It was great. It was like, and it was a legitimately good
I
show.
heard it was pretty good.
Coolio.
I still haven't seen it.
Or Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg was there, not
Yeah.
Coolio.
Is your mom a Snoop Dogg fan? No, I have a theory.
That might be the single funniest question you've ever asked me, Matt. That, wow,
Let me
is
explain
my
myself.
mom a Snoop Dogg fan? Yeah, sure.
May I explain?
Please.
So Snoop Dogg has made one of the most brilliant career pivots
Yes,
of any rapper in the past decade.
becoming the best friend of Martha Stewart.
Becoming the best friend of Martha Stewart,
Yes,
and thusly befriending all of the moms of America. My mom is the biggest Snoop Dogg fan.
Yeah, are the moms of America still behind Martha Stewart?
They love Snoop Dogg and they love Bruno Mars.
Yeah, okay. Snoop and Bruno Mars, huh? See, but I predict a mom would like Snoop and Bruno Mars more than Martha Stewart. I feel like Martha Stewart's relatability really took a hit when she got convicted of insider trading of her own company.
I think it
really ruins the mystique of like, wow, here's a upstanding woman that I can really get behind. Oh yeah, she got fined for insider trading. Martha Stewart living.
Well, it's more than that. Like, you've seen the videos of Snoop Dogg like narrating Planet Earth?
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg has pivoted to create Facebook mom content.
No, Snoop is solid. I remember back in the day when he tried to become Snoop Lion.
You know,
he evolved, he poke evolved
into
Snoop.
He killed someone.
What? No! I love that I know Martha Stewart's insider trading business stuff.
No,
but-
well, it was proven self-defense, and he not necessarily got away with it. Like, he wasn't convicted of murder, but he has killed someone.
Did he shove the body into an animatronic suit?
Maybe.
No, okay, yeah. That's how they always get away with it. They hide the body. Wait, so what?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know this.
It was the 90s.
It was people killing other people, getting away with it, you know. Wow, I had no idea. And this went in a direction I did not expect. Because this whole time I was going to be like, yeah, and if you watch the Super Bowl, like, the show was good, but the set design was miserable. Like, it was cool for cameras, but it was miserable for anyone who was actually watching the Super Bowl live because they were inside these, like, tiny recreations of houses. And so the houses were open to, like, this side of the stadium, but to this other side of the stadium, you saw literally none of the performance. It was terrible.
The Weeknd last year was in the locker room the whole time. So, like, no, he literally wasn't even on stage.
And you have to pay, like, $5,000 for a ticket to the Super Bowl.
Really?
I don't know how much it costs at this point. I was hoping, because one of the guys that we work with on the sales side, he works with a lot of sports influencers, and I was hoping that he could like, hey, can you get us to? Nah, it didn't happen. I was bummed because I've always wanted. I'd love to see a Super Bowl. I think it would be really fun to see. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of the sports ball, I think like the big event is pretty cool. And also, it was fun to watch it happening in the stadium where I played hide and seek for 8 hours.
Oh.
So that was also, I'm like, I recognize that owner's suite. I stole candy from there because all the doors were open. And so I wandered in all the places I shouldn't go because I took advantage of that time. So anyway, Super Bowl, did you watch it? Did you not? It actually prompted us to go back and watch previous halftime shows. We spent an inordinate amount of time last night. Sophia and Tyler came over. And we spent an inordinate amount of time watching and rewatching Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction to figure out what actually happened. Because, so for those of you who don't know, it was 2004, and it was Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake, the big finale of their like set, and he like reaches over, does X, Y, or Z, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, she is exposed to the cameras. And in an awful twist, Justin Timberlake has like no repercussions for this, and Janet Jackson is like nominated for 5 Grammys that year, and Janet Jackson is banned from the Grammys and is basically blacklisted from like every event that comes afterward for the first like for a couple years.
Yeah.
It was really a terrible situation.
I've got some harsh feelings about the incident.
Yeah, well, but the thing is, and so like the question that we had, because it never made sense to me, and so we were going back and rewatching it, and it is so clearly set up to be an event, and it's unclear where the blame sits and who was actually behind it, but it was very clearly like an intentional like for all the PR spin about like it was an accident. Someone intended for that to happen, and I don't know if they were all in on it or if only some of them were in on it, but like the way it happens is so specifically choreographed and planned out that I don't know. Like if you watch, because like the garment should not be constructed in that way to like reveal, you know.
Isn't she wearing a pasty too?
Yeah, there's a lot of like weird details about it that all point to they knew something was going on. Like this was intentional. The last line of the song is "Have you naked" by the end of the song. Like I mean, there's a lot of stuff around it that's very. Also, earlier in the set, there's this very weird that no one ever talks about, but again, I was like analyzing it like a film theory. Like earlier in the set, there's this weird choreographic move where like Janet has 2 side dancers next to her. One is like touching her shoulder and stuff. The other one goes like straight to where the wardrobe malfunction will be later in the set.
Whoa.
And it's very suspicious. Like and it's like that's not a choreograph. Like what is going on in this moment? Is it setting up what's going to come? It's very weird. I remember when it happened live, and it was such a huge moment.
I remember too.
It was massive.
Yeah.
It was massive.
I could go on, but like. She's Janet Jackson. Like she has a song where the back half, it's an 8-minute song. Back half of the song, only moaning. Like, you're gonna ask her to perform at the Super Bowl and then get mad at her when she's sexual? I don't know, dude. I don't know.
It is so. It's really interesting. Like the evolution of the Super Bowl halftime show is probably like merits its own thing at some point, like its own discussion, because you know you had the years that MTV was taking over it, and it was like it was like a YouTube rewind of who's who in music, and they're like Aerosmith, you get up there, and Britney Spears, you get up, and NSYNC, why not, and Nelly, okay, like cool, whoever is available, throw them up there, and it was really cool. And then that moment, that wardrobe malfunction, caused the entire thing to change. And from that moment forward, it became the like one band, very focused, very streamlined thing that it has been for a while. And this one was nice because it felt like it was, you know, it was a who's who of rap and hip hop music from that era. It was cool. So I liked this show because it reminded me of kind of those old shows that used to happen. We're doing meme review today, aren't we?
Yeah, wait, I want to wrap this up because I could talk about this for hours.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite halftime show?
Favorite of all time? Clearly the year 2000, where they instead tossed it to Walt Disney World and did like slow Christina Aguilera ballads all themed around Disney music. Which, yeah,
Really?
we were digging back through them, and I'm like, wait, what's this year two? Because 2001 was like, I think, one of the all-time most memorable, at least for me. That's where Aerosmith and NSYNC and Britney and all of them get together on stage, and it's like Mary J. Blige just appears out of nowhere, and you're like, oh my gosh! And so I'm like, what did they do in 2000? And so we look back, and it's like, Walt Disney presents the halftime show, and it's this like orchestral sweeping thing at Disney. It's all like a big ad for Disney.
Yeah.
Because it's also happening on ABC networks, which are owned by Disney.
Right.
But like they're at Disney World, and they have Christina Aguilera and Enrique Iglesias like singing ballads to each other while like a giant. It reminded me a bit of like something you would see at like Animal Kingdom, like big statue and orchestra plays, and you're like, this is not the halftime show. The halftime shows have changed a lot in the last 20 years or whatever. Like literally within a year, it's like completely different.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, so all-time favorite? I mean, I will say that, that 2001 one where that was the first time, and the one that sticks out in my mind of, oh, it's cool to see a super like everyone gets excited when like collabs of people that you don't expect to get together happen, right? And so this idea of all these big music artists at the time getting together and crossing over, and like Nelly and Mary J. Blige with Britney Spears and Aerosmith and NSYNC. It's like a weird mishmash, and it's cool, and you see them all singing each other's song, and it's like, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's mine. Why?
Okay.
I'm assuming you're asking because you have an intention.
Well,
like,
I was just curious.
Do you have a favorite?
I do.
Are you gonna tell? Would you care to share with the class, Matt?
It's Beyonce's. Beyonce's Super Bowl.
Beyonce's was solid.
Unreal.
She does an incredible show.
A show.
She does a show.
I also really like Prince's, obviously.
Yeah.
And I have a favorite moment.
Oh, wow.
The
Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction. Funny how that. Wow, interesting.
Well, it's the Nicki Minaj MIA Madonna collab.
Okay.
From Madonna's halftime show, where MIA flips the bird and then is fined $1 billion.
Yeah.
Legend.
Legend. That's amazing. Yeah, it's on one like, and I agree 100%. Like, there's like some of those solo performances are iconic. Like we went back and watched like Michael Jackson's 1993 performance, where he literally just stands there for like the first 5 minutes as just people will not stop screaming, because again, like this was a very different time where he was the biggest person in the world.
Yeah.
The world. And we're like, is that true? And it's like, yeah, but like back then, it was so hard to get a hold of like the megaphone of celebrity, especially at a global scale. Whereas nowadays, you have huge international talents, but it's very fragmented, right? Like, you know, Beyonce is probably as close as you can kind of get to that sort of personality.
Yeah.
But like, you know, it's so fragmented. Like, but if you listened to music in like the 80s, you knew Michael Jackson's name. Whether or not you liked him, you knew who he was, right? Nowadays, you can have like some of the biggest names in music or entertainment, and you might not know who they are, right?
BTS is massive.
Right.
My mom has no idea.
That's exactly what we were talking about last night, actually, because we all really like K-pop, and we're like, you know, like the Blackpinks, BTSs of the world, and yeah, huge international audiences, but people don't know. You know, like there are still pockets because it's so fragmented and you have to kind of find it to some extent. Whereas there, because there was less media saturation all over the place, you know, and the industry was really focused on like, here's the one person, like Michael Jackson standing there for like 10 minutes at the top of this Super Bowl halftime show as the world just loses its mind. It's like, oh yeah, like I get it, you know? Yeah. So that's cool. Beyonce though, like I think she does a really good show. When I think of the halftime Super Bowl show though, like I love just the mixing, like the mixing and mashing of, that's what gets me most excited. Like
the Coldplay Beyonce.
yeah, that's it. So, some work better. Let's just say some work better than others. How about that? We'll leave it at that. So anyway, hey, we're doing a meme review, I guess, at some point here.
Talk about some memes.
Memes and fan art.
Yeah.
I noticed on the subreddit that people were like, hey, MatPat's pointing and approving of the Meme Mondays, but he's ignoring. This is me reenacting the memes. He's ignoring Fan Art Friday, which we should not do.
Yeah, I found some beautiful fan art.
Okay, great.
That will be featuring on the program.
That will be featuring on the program. Okay, great. Awesome. Here, let's check it out, shall we? Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I know it's later in the week, but it's always one of my favorite holidays, and just know that I love you. you are loved. Here we go. Thought this belonged here. The bite. Okay, the Springlock incident. Wait, Springlock incident of 1991. Is this part of the lore that I don't know about? Okay, does it have audio or no? It's just a GIF. Oh, this is so funny. SpongeBob called it. SpongeBob predicted all of FNAF. There it is. Oh, see, he got moisture in the suit. He got moisture in the suit. And now we have to bury him behind a wall, and he's going to live there until someone unearths the body, and then he comes and haunts us for another 30 games. Damn it. It's so true. That's really funny, actually. Here we go. Animation of MatPat's first encounter with Music Man in Security Breach. Not sure if this is the correct flair, but I wanted to share the animation I made. This is from Liask. Here we go.
Oh, look, there's a vent that's falling off the wall.
I like that Steph is a ghost.
Yeah, that was really weird.
In Game Theory logo. It's like hidden Mickey.
Music Man! Oh, he's a teeny Music Man. He's a teeny Music Man.
What?
See, that she's like a MatPat. I love it. Oh, that's great. That's so fun.
Oh, look, there's a vent that's falling off the wall.
I look good as Gregory. This is great.
Okay. Yeah, that was really weird.
Steph as Ghost. This reminds me of hidden Mickeys around Disney parks.
Oh, hello. Music Man!
Skeptical.
Oh, he's a teeny Music Man.
What the heck is that?
Teeny Music Man.
What?
See, find yourself someone on this Valentine's Day, belated. So find yourself a year from now, next Valentine's Day. Find yourself someone who loves you just as much as I love Music Man. If only you can find that true of a love in your heart. It's Valentine's Day gold. Do you have someone in your life, Matt, who you love as much as I love Music Man?
It's you.
Mirror Matt! Oh, it's teeny Mirror Matt. Oh, it's teeny. Yeah, now that Music Man, like now that we're moving past Security Breach, I need to find someone else that I can do that to.
Yeah.
So it's going to be you. Mirror Matt!
I don't like that it's the perfect number of syllables.
It's harder. I will say it's not as
Yeah, it
easy
is.
because
It's the ooh.
Yeah, it's
It
the
really
mirror. It's not clear. Music has such a nice crisp. Yeah, and Matt isn't quite as clean as man. It has that trail off. Anyway, but you know what? Teeny Matt. We can make a little plushie of you.
They don't know that I'm not teeny.
They don't know.
You're giving away the fact that I'm not a little
I mean, maybe you are.
robot in the
You,
corner.
who you could be. I'm not. I have given away literally nothing.
I've been
I could be building lore, and then I could retcon that lore about you whenever I want.
retcon. What does that mean?
Retcon is when you go back and change something based on new information. So, like, a great example of this is in one of the early Thor movies. I think it might have even been Thor 1. You go into Odin's treasury, basically, and you see the Infinity Gauntlet that Thanos will one day wear, right? And it's got the Infinity Stones and whatever. I think it's got the Infinity... It's at least the glove, right? Fast forward 2 movies later to Thor Ragnarok, and you have the character Hela go back into that treasury, and she knocks over that glove and says, fake. So, because at that point, Marvel knew that they wanted Thanos to get the Infinity Gauntlet and the gems in a different way. And so what they did was they retconned or reconstructed history, basically, to say, like, oh, that wasn't actually a thing.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's
a
what you're
retcon.
doing with my size.
Yeah, yep. I'm seeding out clues for the audience to put together what you actually look like.
Smart.
Yeah, you might be small, you might be big, you might be a robot.
I probably
You might be an
am a robot.
You might be an animatronic that I just speak to.
Whoa.
Right?
I like a couple people have been theorizing that I am you.
Yeah, me
That
from
I
an
don't
alternate timeline.
exist.
Are you a deviant of me?
Well, it's like you're paying a voice actor to go back in.
Deviant variant. Sorry, deviant. Are you a deviant me, Matt?
Some of the fan theories say that you're paying a voice actor to go back in and like say my lines.
Yeah.
And then you're alone in the room, like talking to yourself essentially.
Or maybe you're just hearing my own psychosis at this
Whoa.
point. Like maybe you've got it. There's some audio files in my head that you're just privy to. What if all of this is just me talking to myself?
What if?
It's amazing. You ever think about that? Mirror Matt! Sorry. Just gotta do it. Okay, what's this? Punch Frog. Any theories about the new FNAF book having a connection with Sun and Moon? Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay, number 2, Hap. So yeah, the Tales from Pizzaplex is coming out in February? Is it coming? Hold up. Hold on. No. Oh, this one's coming out in the summer. I think the first one, because you'll notice this is number 2. Fazbear Frights. Yes, Fazbear Frights. Tales from the Pizza. Oh my gosh, I can't even find. There's so many books. I have to just scroll forever. Yes, Lally's Game is the first one that's coming out. That one is the one that has a robot child on the cover. Just saying, robot child on the cover. That one's in July. So this will be probably July, August, September. I would say this is probably September. Interestingly enough, there is one more Fazbear Frights original series that comes out this month. It is like the one of cut stories, or the ones that didn't actually make the official canon. Not that it was canon anyway, so it's like the unofficial 12th book in the series. It's weird. I know it has an animatronic shark on the cover, which I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm the one who seeded that into the universe, and then the universe said, yes, we will make that happen, Matt, for you.
There's a severe lack of sharks in the FNAF universe.
Right? Why have none of these pizzerias had pools? Missed opportunity. But anyway, now there's an animatronic shark.
Yeah, I'm
that is
glad they're
coming.
remedying that.
Yeah, Or like a street shark from back in the day. That was a 90s toy, so maybe you don't remember. It was like an early 90s thing, but like you had street sharks, which lasted for like maybe 8 episodes. They lasted for just a hot minute, but man, did they burn bright. They were rough and tough and lived under the city in the sewers to fend it. Basically, they were the Ninja Turtles, except sharks. Except sharks, and they were awesome. Do I have theories about this? Let's see. Do I have a theory about this? I mean, the face is very similar. You're not wrong. Yes. Do I have theories? I do. Yes. The answer is yes. I don't, like, it's just speculation based on an image, right? But if I were to guess, and we don't know where Tales of the Pizzaplex is happening, but it feels like what this is going to be talking about is either what happens to Moondrop, Sunrise, whatever happens to it after the events of Security Breach or prior to. Since most of the Fazbear Frights books have been telling you stories before the actual game and kind of like the events that get you into the game, I would guess that this is like there's some security bot based on the treads, right? There's some security bot and the alarm. There's some security bot that is infused with a personality. And then, as evidenced by the duality, and also what we know about Moondrop, gets corrupted in some way by maybe an afton virus, or like like some construct in the book, right? Like he falls down the stairs and that causes his programming to glitch out. So sometimes he's like the happy security bot and sometimes he's the evil one. And then from there, we as the audience members are meant to extrapolate, well, that applies to Sundrop and Moondrop. Sunrise, what is the sun's name? Mr. Sun and Moondrop. In X, Y, and Z. And so this is the precursor story for him, or maybe there's some lore thing. I watched Chopping Mall a couple weeks ago, strangely, and looking at this guy, it is very similar to the mall security. Like, look at this guy. There's a series of robots in Chopping Mall. We wanted to watch a bad horror movie, and so Chopping Mall was on that list. And despite it sounding like it should be like a killer walking through the mall, chopping people up, it's actually about robots who laser them to death. It is a mature stream, so be aware, not family friendly by any means, because it's an 80s horror movie, so there's a lot of stuff that goes along with that. But you'll notice that they are very similar. So maybe Moondrop Sunrise / Haps, he is on the way to do some chopping. They're connected. It's connected universe. That's it. It's a connected universe. Do you have a favorite bad horror movie, Matt?
That is a great question. I don't. Okay, so this isn't a bad movie. In fact, I think it's an incredible movie.
Okay.
But it's campy.
Okay. Camp's great. I love camp.
Have you seen the movie Society, 1989?
No, I don't think I have.
It is one of the best movies I have ever seen.
What, 1989?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here.
Very mature. Mature stream.
Whoa!
He is a butt.
He is a butt. He is literally a butt face. Is this where butt face came from?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the joke.
This is the origin. Yeah.
But yeah, if you're looking for like a good time, no plot, just silly hijinks, it's Society.
We live in one.
And that's true.
Yeah. Does the movie comment on how we live in a society?
More or less.
Wow. Man, we do. We live in a society. It's hard to comprehend that sometimes.
I might have to blur some of that out in post.
We might want to get that off screen. I don't. We play a risky game with that one. Let's just say that. The confidence interval that YouTube has with our channel might get dinged a little bit if we show too much of that one.
Fair enough.
There you go. Those horror movies, man, you never know what you're going to get. So just be careful. Here we go. Mirror Matt deserves this. Mirror Matt deserves this. So I'm sorry if it's not that good, but I tried. This is from
That sounds like imposing.
Congratulations, you got a black screen. You deserve this.
I
You
know.
deserve this. This is it. It's not a video. I'm not playing it. This is what you get, Mirror Matt.
Do they not like me?
No, you get a strip of color right here. Here, let's see what it is. I don't think it's gonna be you. Nope, it's definitely Mirror Matt in here. Music Man! Oh, I called it. Let's go.
Sans his nest.
See, we're building out lore around you. You have you persist after I leave the room. You are literally Mirror Matt. You are a mirror with me inside of you, and your knowledge of video games goes about as deep as Sans' nest. So there you go.
I'm just happy to be included.
Right? It's a participation trophy. It's like I'm just happy to have been nominated for the intro. I love how everything that was going on just stops, and we enter this somber scene. It's time to bring down the lights and get real. Oh, that's funny. You're like Candyman. Fun fact, I do not actually Matt does not drive to work every day.
You summon me?
I summon him through a mirror. I look into a mirror Similar to Candyman, and you say it 5 times into the mirror, he comes out and kills you.
Yeah.
There's a bathroom right off of my office, right there, right next to where Steph and I work. And I go into that every morning, and I look in the mirror, and I say, mirror, Matt, mirror, Matt, mirror, Matt, mirror, Matt, mirror. You have to say it 5 times, just like Candyman. And all of a sudden, Matt crawls out of the mirror, and he looks exactly like me.
Yeah.
So if you want canon about how tall or short or big or little or animatronic Matt is, that's it. He is Candyman.
The pay no attention to the voice difference.
No.
Yeah.
I have to tweak it a little bit in post.
Mirror World, we have a different diaphragmatic system.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. And I mean, I support with the diaphragm. He does not. Like you're kind of like anti-Matt. You're Pat Matt almost, except not really. We're building out too many Matt personas. I don't know. We're jumping the shark. We're jumping the animatronic shark that just got summoned into existence.
The street gang shark from the 90s.
Brought to you by Surfshark VPN. Oh man, here we go. Next. Oh no, little beans. That trouble. Oh boy. Okay. Oh no.
Have you seen this?
I know what it is. Absolutely.
Okay. Cool.
No, I'm assuming this is your first. You saw it.
Today is my first time having seen this.
Yeah. Oh, I clicked off of it. Sorry. We're not gonna watch it. Man, if you want peak cringe content, here it is.
Good morning, Medina High School. I'm Matthew Pat.
Every time.
I come here today with a very special invitation. Now, the juniors and seniors know that
that was
prom
a
is
looker.
coming up when a few short and
I screwed up my
those
line.
with dates are quickly making arrangements for hair appointments, finding tuxedos and dresses,
This is my
buying
original
tickets,
live stream.
and so on.
It's my first
However,
live stream.
I've noticed that those without dates have resigned themselves to the fact that they won't be attending this year's
My
dance.
suit was really big.
This troubles me. Now, the prom is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Twice.
Twice in a lifetime opportunity at Medina High School that should not be passed up. And those that miss this opportunity will be forever left wondering, what if? But I'm here today to
won't.
tell you to live
Wasn't
without
that
regret,
great? Spoiler alert.
especially you seniors. Just because you don't have a date or just because you don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on clothing should not prevent you from going to this milestone of
Man,
your life.
My voice was way up
For
there,
those
wasn't
of
it?
you that feel uncomfortable going alone, I invite you to come with me. I'm getting a group of friends together to go just as that, friends, a way to offer a variety of dance partners and to enjoy the evening without any emotional commitments. It will be a fun-filled night full of friendship and dancing. Now, whether it's with
I
me
should have ended there.
or with someone else or with a group of friends
out.
or
Get
just by
out.
yourself,
Good job.
I urge you to attend today. Just introduce yourself to me.
I
Even
ended
if
like
I
3
don't know
times.
you, it's a great way to
I should
meet
have
new
edited.
people. And I'd be honored to meet you myself. And even if we
Nope.
collect
See?
enough money,
No, I'm vamping.
the money we
No, I'm
save
vamping.
on corsages
Don't
and
vamp.
boutonnieres could be spent going to a limousine for all of us.
You're not
It'd
good
be
enough
a
at
great
vamping.
night, I promise you. Allow me, in conclusion, to
Allow me in
urge you to
conclusion.
go to the prom one final time. And to end on this note,
There it is.
will you go to prom with me, Medina?
Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. So Matt, that was your first experience. I've relived that moment in my life a lot of times, actually. What are your thoughts, Matt? Would you go to prom with me? Would you go to prom with me, Matt?
I can't believe that exists.
Yeah. Yes. Why not? But I'm confused.
Again, I couldn't have written that. That's an SNL sketch.
Yeah?
There was a
See?
team
I'll
of
say it one more
writers writing that.
Came straight out of here, man.
That's insane.
What's insane? I'm curious. Give me your thoughts, Matt, because I have thoughts. I have thoughts about it.
It's such a sweet gesture, and it's so poorly conceived.
Yeah, what directorial tips would you give me in the future there, Mirror Matt? Look, from your future ball of wisdom, let's...
No, you sat down and you were like, you know what I should do? I should get on the news. No, I'm gonna be mean.
Good, it's fine. I don't care. You're just being me. It's fine. I don't care.
You said I'm gonna get on the news in the worst fitting suit I can find. And I'm gonna crack my voice as much as possible. No, I'm hurting your feelings.
No, you're not. No. Please. I come from the theater world. I accept notes and I say thank you for the note. You have a tough in the theater world. You have a tough skin, and you're like, all right, thank you.
It's really sweet. It's a very sweet gesture that you made.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I would have never personally.
Probably the right call. No, I agree. I stand by that decision. I stand by the message behind it.
No, yeah,
right.
Again,
like
it's like the thought is so sweet and so nice.
Yeah, but yeah, the execution.
Delivery.
The execution was weak. Which is funny too, because I was a theater kid, and like it's weird. I got nervous, like because again, I wasn't used to doing like live. That was actually one of the first things in front of a like camera, like an on-camera performance. Yeah. Because on stage, like singing, dancing, acting, like fine. But that was like my first time like being in a studio with the camera live, and I'm like, and you can tell like my voice jumps up when I get nervous. And so my voice jumps up and I start stumbling over stuff. And then I got off script and I start gesturing my way to like figure out what my thoughts are. And I'm like, Matt, gotta keep it tight. Gotta keep it tight. Yeah. I'll have you know that suit is great. That was of the style at the time. I don't know if it was of the style at the time. It was a double-breasted suit though, for sure. I was very proud of that suit.
Whoever was
tie was enormous. It's like a clown tie. I love it.
Camera operator was nailing it.
Yeah, camera op, man.
That zoom out at the end.
Right, he knew.
Really well done.
He knew. He could feel it. The only thing that was missing was like the slow punch in the entire time. But yeah, Matt, would you go to prom with me?
I would have.
Would you have gone to prom with me?
I would have.
Oh, nice.
It's also like it's so I guess I'm an adult now.
Yeah.
And so looking at the prospect of not being able to go to prom because you don't have a date.
Yeah.
Is a little silly to me.
Oh, no, right? It's in retrospect, it's one of those like, who cares? Like, there were a lot of dances all through middle school and high school, and I would argue that prom was the least exciting.
Prom sucked.
It sucked. It was terrible. After prom, my school did after prom, and it was legit.
What is after prom?
So in an attempt to make sure that no bad decisions are made after prom, take that in any of the variety of directions that those bad decisions tend to go, because there's a lot of them and all of them are taken. My school would actually let the seniors like take over the entire school, and the parents would work the entire weekend leading up to prom, where the entire school would be like made over into just like fun and games and craziness. And so you had like bowling frozen chickens down the hallways, and you had the entire cafeteria became like a not family friendly, but like a kid friendly casino, where you could like actually gamble made up tokens and earn prizes at the end of it. There were bounce houses in the gymnasium that like were, that you could just go crazy on.
Yeah.
There were prizes at the end of the night if you stayed the whole night, and like they would give away these awesome like gift baskets, like with legit stuff inside. Tons of free food, and it was all free, right? It was just like, go, so that way, you have fun and don't make any like bad life decisions.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was awesome. Like, it was such a cool party, and it was only for seniors, and that is the thing that I wish I could do again. Prom itself, it was a lackluster dance.
I don't think anyone's ever been like, prom really lived up to the hype.
Yeah, right? But like media sells it so hard.
So hard.
And again, this is me working out of a black box, and so I'm like, hey, let me try to encourage people to go to this thing, because I heard a lot of people who are like, all the reasons I list off, it's too expensive, I don't have a date, whatever. And it's like, no, like my whole thing for almost my entire life has been like live without regrets. And like if there's that like once in a lifetime chance, you try to make it happen. And my thought there was, I don't want people to regret not going just because of stupid reason X or Y.
You want them to regret going.
Yeah, absolutely. Because otherwise, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's like a once-in-a-lifetime thing versus like anything else that you could do that night.
No, totally.
And so it's like, yeah, go. It's kind of like parties. I really, like, I tend not to like parties. And in LA, especially when we were living in LA and in before times, there was a lot of like YouTuber parties and YouTuber events and get-togethers and this and that. And would I be excited to go to that? Like, usually not. But it's also, and I recognize that I'm in a fortunate position where we were getting invited to that stuff. And Steph and I every time would be like, oh, we're so tired and we've got so much work to do. Like, do we go to this? And you go, so you have the story, and it's like, oh, I got to experience it. And whether or not it was good, at least you did it, right? You're not left wondering what if. And I think that that's the biggest thing for anyone in life, right, is you don't want to be leaving yourself in a position where you're wondering, what if? Like, what if I had done this instead? You know, like, you got to make the choice and you go with it. And especially if it's, like, a rare choice, like, try it out, you know, like the prom.
That's what I got from that video, definitely.
There you go. So, my morning announcements. I actually used to do the we'll get to more of these, but the, true story, I did the morning, and I pioneered the morning announcements at our school, because they used to do it, like a teacher used to do them, and I'm like, I would love to do the morning announcements. I did them in elementary school, I did them in middle school, I would love to do them here. And so for the first 2 years, I believe it was first 2 years of high school, I did them over the PA system, and I would just, you know, I put them together, I read them, I had like a little morning show, because I'm such a tryhard. I'm like, I'm gonna do this. And then junior year, they started a video production class, and the video production class is like, we're doing morning announcements. We're doing videotaped morning announcements. And I was bummed about that, man. I'm like, this is my thing. And you come in and steal my thing away from me. Come on.
Did they even ask you to participate?
No.
Wow.
No, it was part of the class. And so you had a bunch of kids who didn't want to do it, really, like, doing it because it was part of the class. And I'm like, this sucks. Like, I wanted to do this. And so that was, and it never fit into my schedule, and TV production just was never a thing. Because I forget, like, I had, like, choir in the morning and whatever it was. But yeah, it troubled me that I was booted out, so this was my appearance on the morning announcements.
Well, you did a great job.
And now it lives in infamy. There it is. Go to prom with me, guys. See? Antiseptical. Antiseptical. Can the new game theory be about how Kirby does this? Just inhales a car. Yeah, this came from like a Nintendo Direct where they're like, hey, there's a new Kirby game that's coming out, which interestingly enough looks like it has Kirby going through like a literal remnant of human society that has been forgotten or destroyed at this point in time. It's coming out in March. It's coming out really soon. I'm intrigued. It seems like the Kirby franchise is leaning in on the lore, and I'm all for that. Last time I tried to talk about Kirby lore, though, everyone's like, duh, everyone knows that Kirby is a insatiable cosmic god with the spirit of a child that inhales everything. I'm like, I didn't know that. As someone who played the fluffy pink game with the funny powers, I did not know that. So I learned that. I was excited to share with people. People knew, so I didn't end up doing part 2 of that theory. But I think that this shows that, like, Nintendo's really leaning in on kind of this darker lore of Kirby and seeding out the idea of, like, well, how was Kirby on a defunct Earth? In Kirby's Dream Land 3, actually, you travel to a planet that has the geographic look of a frozen over Earth. And you see a couple of remnants of human society there. So I'm wondering if there's some sort of callback there. But yeah, wait for the game to come out. I'm very curious about Stretchy Kirby and how that's going to work.
I have a question.
Yes.
Retcon.
Retcon is when you go back and you change something. Yeah.
Do Kirby and Mario live in the same world?
Moving on. I'm not sighing because it's a dumb question. I'm sighing because it's a hard answer.
Right.
The answer is it depends on what canon you want to go with.
Because I'm like, I literally forget that Kirby is a Nintendo entity.
Right.
Because he's not in, like, Smash or Mario Party. Oh, no, sorry, wait. Hold on, wait.
Oh, no.
No, I said that wrong.
You did. You said that very wrong.
He's in Smash.
He is.
He's not in anything else. You can't play as him in Mario Party, Mario Tennis, Mario Kart.
I mean, because he's not a Mario character.
But how come he can be in Smash?
Well, because Smash is let's throw all the Nintendo properties together / let's throw all the video game properties together. But Mario Kart and Mario Party, those are Mario. Those are Mario specific things, yeah.
But there has to be.
Donkey Kong falls into a weird territory, but
Yeah.
Donkey Kong was original. So yeah,
so
he's still
had a collab. But
Not
Sonic exists in the Mario world.
Does he?
Mario and Sonic at the Olympics.
Okay, again, like weird crossover event. Yeah, sure.
So
Why not?
So why can't I play Mario Kart as Kirby?
It does seem like a missed opportunity, especially I'm being a little bit difficult, but you're totally right. There's no reason why Mario Kart shouldn't have just as much crossover as like a Super Smash Brothers at this point. Like, why not? You're totally right. I think it's mostly just because it's complicated to get everyone on board with that sort of stuff, and the only person who's been like motivated enough to do it is the creator of Smash Brothers, Sakurai.
I see.
So that's my guess.
Because I'm like, you can play as Wiggler in Mario Golf.
Right, but it's a Mario character.
Right, but like...
But it's a Mario character. It's easy to get Mario characters when you're dealing with the Mario franchise, but when you're doing...
they're literally different entities.
I mean, yeah, like... Just like... Having worked in the real world, everyone has their own departments, right? And so, similarly with a game development studio, right? Like Studio X working on franchise, Mario over here, may or may not have a whole lot of overlap with Team Y working on Kirby franchise over here, right? And so, if you're going to make a game like a Mario crossover or whatever, you need someone who's motivated enough to go to all the different departments, get all the up and down the ladder, get all the approvals, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so that's the complication.
Because in my head, here's where the issue lies.
Sure.
And then I swear.
Not in bureaucracy. Not in bureaucracy. Sure.
Well, in my head, Kirby played a similar role as Yoshi, where it's like I had always assumed that Kirby was in the universe.
Yeah.
But now that I'm thinking about it, you're right. Like Yoshi is in the Mario games.
Correct.
You ride Yoshi.
Yes.
Like Kirby is.
And he was created inside a Mario game.
Right.
And Kirby has always
Kirby's
existed.
his own thing.
Yeah, he's always existed. X.
Interesting.
No. I mean, like I said, it's complicated. The one that comes to mind off the top of my head is that Mario and Luigi appear in the background of the Megaton Punch minigame in Kirby Superstar, where Kirby Superstar is a collection of a bunch of smaller Kirby games all packaged together under one umbrella. It's actually a fantastic game. One of the best games for the Super Nintendo, and it's been remastered since then and this and that. Anyway, in the background of one of the mini games, which is the Megaton Punch, where you literally punch a crack through the entire planet Popstar, you have Mario and Luigi watching in the background, and so that is a physical crossover event between the two of them. Kirby technically lives on planet Popstar, whereas Mario and Luigi maybe are on Earth, maybe are in the mushroom. Like, it's actually, we dance around this a lot in the theories because it's complicated. Like, it's very complicated. Yeah. Sometimes they're plumbers in the real world, like that's an origin story, but like Nintendo has kind of swept that under the rug. They were carpenters at one point. Like, different Marios have different canons at different times. It's very confusing. So are they in the same universe? They can be. It's unclear.
Got it.
Yeah, it's a tough one. That's a toughie.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on their canon heights. Hey, let's keep talking.
We should maybe speed round a couple of...
Zookeeper, the moment we found out... The moment that we found out that none of the writers spoke Spanish. The Encanto house can't be the spirit of Grandpa because they refer to the house as female. Hispanic theorists. What? In Spanish, the words have genders. If you are referring to a masculine house, it would be casito. What are you talking about? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't disagree on this one. This was a tricky one. You're totally right. So, absolutely, 100%. Casito is not a word that exists in the Spanish language, and it was originally presented to me by one of the researchers, writers. Like, they're like, this is what disproves the fact that the grandpa is not the spirit of the house. And then I looked it up and I saw that casito is not a word, but that ito is a masculine ending. And so I should have cut it, or I had a debate about it. I should have cut it, or I should have rephrased it better than I did. And I didn't do a good job of rephrasing it at all. Like, so that was entirely on my part. This was a bad call on me. Ito, so ita is a feminine ending. Ito is a masculine ending. And I'm right in saying that there are masculine and feminine nouns, just like there is in French. Like, I had studied French, right? So, lâcher, great, I forgot all... I'm not even going to try because I forgot all my French. But, like, Spanish and French both have masculine and feminine nouns, right? So casita is always, house, or little house, is always going to be a feminine word, whether or not the house itself is masculine. It's complicated, but like, you know, the word house will always be feminine. And so and so like, could they have named, because they refer to it as casita, as in like a proper name. Like, we have named our house Casita, but I could have also named it Matt. I could have also named it Billy Box, you know, whatever. But they call it Casita. And so, on one hand, I should have clarified that, like, it could be a proper noun. And ultimately, this is me spinning my wheels at this point, but ultimately it amounted to, I wanted to include it in there because it was a popular theory and I thought it was interesting to talk about, but I didn't want to spend too much time explaining all of the other stuff, like caveats and explanations on top of it to like make it make as much sense as possible, because I'm like, this is taking up way too much time in an episode that I really want to be focused about this other thing. Like, it almost needed to be its own theory at that point. So you are totally right. But we did catch it in advance. I should have just eliminated. I should have just been like, I'll save this for another day. So that was my bad for not including everything that I needed to explain that one away. Casito. Yeah, Casito is not. I still don't think that the spirit of the grandpa is the house. I think it's an interesting theory, but I don't think it's the same. You haven't seen Encanto, have you, Matt? It is on in our house constantly right now. Ali is all about Encanto.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It's great. It's actually fantastic.
I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I'm enjoying it. I'm trying to figure out if there's more theories that we can do on it, because it was really fun. And because I'm listening to it and watching it a lot, I'm like, I need to do another theory about this to justify it. I reanimated film theory from these sorbets. These sorbets, 147. Sorbet. Oh, yeah. Feces? God. No. You're great. This is
Hello,
Phil.
Internet. Welcome back to Film Theory, where we will share spoilers that will make you angry. Haha.
This is it. Thank you. I've been looking for a new intro for Film Theory for a while, so this did it. That's it. Cut and print. I have no notes. Thank you for the note. No notes. It was brilliant as is. That was incredible. Thank you. I like, why is Spider-Man dropping feces? What? I'm sorry, I'm confused. Why is there, he's falling into feces. He's falling into a pile of poop, I believe is what this is meant to depict. Am I correct in assessing it this way?
I would assume.
Okay, good.
Is that not a theory that we have?
That Spider-Man falls into piles of poop. It's not quite. God! It's pretty amazing, actually. I love it. Oh, it's great. It's a winner. This is what I was waiting for, so I could rebrand Film Theory. GT Live fan art. Hey! Play the game, Matt. I gotta find the lore. Steph. Steph is so tired of me. This is amazing. I also like that I speak in emoji. This is great. I love it. I love it so much. It's wonderful. Yes, it's harder to comment on the fan art because it's just like, I love this. This is wonderful. And so that's, I think, one of the reasons why we tend not to feature it quite as heavily here on the videos. Just so you know, I see them. I appreciate them. Very often I print them out and keep them in my personal scrapbook. But yeah, it's hard to say like, aha, I have deep insights about this art style, or haha, this joke is good. I like that Steph lately, though, because her last appearance was on the security breach stuff, that she's just like beleaguered and just so over me playing games at this point. I think she's fitting into that role nicely. 5 evenings at Frederick's safety concerns. Just because it's so jank. It's pretty jank. These aren't official, right? 100% new and high quality. Are they now? Are they high quality? Press X to doubt. It's terrifying. Where can I buy them? Does Vanny have a sword? Oh my... Right? It's in the cut content, guys. Vanny's medieval quest where she comes at you with a sword and shield. It's in the cut content. I love that this is also like not her outfit at all. Like this isn't even the costume. They got Monty kind of close. Oh, poor Chica. This is rough. It's kind of rough. We could buy them. Matt, should we buy them so we can put them up as our friends behind us?
Yeah. We could use new friends.
We could use new friends. I mean, Drama Llama's been up there for a while.
Well,
Stephanie's been tipped over, I mean, for months at this point. Like,
she can't stand up.
She's given up on
She's really top heavy.
She is very top heavy.
The beanbag U is new.
It also doesn't help that this shelf is slanted.
Hey.
Just saying.
Carpentry is not my forte.
But yeah, we could get some generic rip-off FNAF figures, and they'll just be our friends.
That'd be cute.
Frankie Fazbear, Chonka. Right, that's what their names are, honestly. Frankie, Chonka, Vonnie,
Minty,
Manty, Rexy,
and Vinny.
No, Vinny. Yeah, it's not Vonnie, it's Vinny. Vinny, Chonky, Frankie. It's great. I've been thinking about this a lot this week from Triange 5 Imagina. Hey, you up. Unfortunately. Oh, okay. If in the world of FNAF, the paranormal and necromancy are real, what else is there that we don't know about? Is that what it said? What else is there that we don't know about? Wolf, purple guy. Oh yeah, vampires. I mean, vampires could be real. Do vampires exist? Vampires would consume agony or remnant. Oh, it's true. See, this is a theorist right here. So many thoughts. I mean, I've been thinking about this a lot this week. How did you get a camera into my bedroom? Get your camera out of my bed. I'm not comfortable with that, but this is accurate. That is a true vision of what I do in my nightly routine. I say goodnight to Ollie, I say goodnight to Steph, and then I lay there, eyes open, thinking about the implications of agony and vampires. MatPat is Gregory. It's true. Sometimes I even cry. MatPat, the crying child, all grown up I am. Accurate. This is our final theory. Actually, we have it coming out tomorrow. Actually, as this comes out, so we have the final theory coming out tomorrow. It's all a troll. I don't solve anything, and it's just me on camera being like, "It's me. I am also a robot." This troubles me. I would love to see Matt talk about FNAF. What? You can do that on Saturday. Matt saying that the bite victim is rebuilt as Gregory in Security Breach. People saying the bite victim... Oh my gosh, okay. Sorry, I got to do like the logic puzzle that is... Okay. Matt saying the bite victim is rebuilt Gregory. Yes. People saying the bite victim is one of two spirits who control Golden Freddy. Yes. That's it. Me waiting to tell everybody that I think the bite victim and Cassidy are the same person. What? Are they the same person? The one you should not have killed. So Cassidy is also the one you should not have killed. Is it the same person? I feel like there's evidence to disprove that. I don't exactly, off the top of my head, I'm not exactly sure what that evidence is. I feel like we've talked about it in a theory, though, that like the two don't quite fit together. And are they the same person? I mean, it could be. Okay, I'll look into it. I'll think about it. It's an interesting thought. Retro Beetle, the one you should not have killed. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it. Here we go. Have you ever noticed how we know nothing of the child except Cassidy? Yeah. Or how the only thing we don't know about the bite victim is the name. Oh, the two pieces. That's pretty good. This theory, referred to as the Cassidy victim, states that the one you should not have killed wasn't a child we'd never even heard of up to that point. The protagonist of the FNAF 4 minigames, the younger brother of the main character, proposes that the full name of the bite victim was in fact Cassidy Afton. It's important to consider that Golden Freddy is a ghost, not a physical suit. That's correct. He's able to teleport through walls and doors. He fades into thin air. He changes appearance. Yes. Okay, there's only ever Golden Freddy, not Golden Freddy and Withered. I agree with that. It's not difficult. Golden both. If Golden Freddy is non-corporeal and doesn't have a physical form, then it doesn't make much sense for him to be a fusion of two spirits. How exactly do you fuse two entities that lack the concrete bodies that you would be fusing? Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's also this franchise. It's like at this point, it's clear that Golden Freddy has to be the bite victim. I mean, I feel like you need a little bit more than that, but sure. It becomes clear that Golden Freddy has to be the Happiest Day, wherein Golden Freddy is allowed to rest, specifically mirrors the layout of Fredbear's from FNAF 4. Yeah, okay. Okay, this is a lot. I will come back to this. I always wanted the pixel games, the 8-bit games, to, especially Happiest Day, to be more parallel to one of the other existing pizzerias. It does mirror the layout of Fredbear's, kind of, like, and that's something that we've called out before. It kind of does. Has Golden Freddy's jump scare? Yeah. It's an interesting thought. I think the problem lies with Happiest Day and Ultimate Custom Night, and the fact that a spirit associated with Golden Freddy always seems to persist, right? The idea that it's the trick here is Happiest Day, we see the spirit of Golden Freddy kind of like pass on, right? He is redeemed, he's happy, he goes away. And so for Ultimate Custom Night to have this angry Cassidy, one you should not have killed, as the final image, who refuses to go away, it seems to directly conflict with Cassidy as the bite victim. So first off, I think like that in and of itself is a really strong point to disproving it. But also everything that we know about Cassidy / the spirit, the one you should not have killed, from the books, from Ultimate Custom Night, things like that, is that Cassidy is attached to Afton and his spirit because he has a vendetta against Afton specifically, William Afton, because he was killed. Cassidy, she was killed. They were killed by Afton, and that's why they've attached their spirit to Afton. That's why wherever Afton shows up, Cassidy is there to like strike him down in some way. And that does not coincide with the crying child. That doesn't coincide with the bite victim, because the crying child is like, my brother killed me. My death really didn't have a whole lot to do with my father, William Afton. So that, I think, that to me is one of the biggest points. The last point that I think, now that I'm starting to get thoughts together, the last point that kind of comes to mind is Missing Children's Incident had 5 victims, right? Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, Chica, and one other one. The only other suit that remains is the Golden Freddy suit, which, again, like, and the Missing Children's Incident was kids dying at the hands of William Afton, at the hands of a serial killer. And so for Crying Child to also be Cassidy, and we know the 5th victim's name was Cassidy at this point, right? So for that to also be the one who died in the bite at Fredbear's Family Diner, it doesn't fit. There needs to be a 5th victim, Cassidy, to fill out the 5 missing children in a location called Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, not Fredbear's Family Diner. Trust me, I wish it was more seamless than that. Like, I think that's the problem with the franchise right now, is that there's always that one dangling thread that doesn't quite tie in nicely with everything else, and so you're always looking for, like, the more awkward explanation to fit it in. So 2 spirits inside 1 animatronic feels awkward, but I think based on the evidence that you have and everything that we know about Cassidy, it doesn't fit with the little stuff that we do know about Bite Victim. There we go. Nice. Here, speed run. MatPat's such a good sport. Better frosting, 1933. Say the line. Is it Game Theory? Game Theory. Oh, Music Man. There it is. Music Man. There it is. There it is. I said the line. Hey, I will. Whenever people see me in public too, they're always like, "Say the theory thing," and so I do. Like, sure, why not? You know, if you're a famous actor out in the real world and you have an iconic line, like, say it. Why not? Sure. We're all in this together. It's nice to be known for something, and I'm glad that I'm known as the Music Man guy. Derpy Axolotl, this is why you don't play it. Pause Game Theory. Welcome to every week that I work on a FNAF theory. Only no fandoms. Solve any problem with arson. Don't do arson or draw 25. Draw the arson. It's true. Nope. Gotta keep solving it with arson. One of these days, I will melt my father. Not today, not tomorrow, but one of these days, fire will work. Because it's literally the only idea I have. Silver bullet, maybe? Drowning? I don't know. Launch him into space? Freddy in space. Scott was joking about it, but I think eventually it's got to get there. Matthew Patrick. MatPat. Matthew Patrick. Just looking on. Don't bother me. Let's see. Muffin. More Vanny, please. A brand new villain gets introduced. She has barely used it. Yep. Yeah, I know. I think we all were excited to see more of both Glitch Trap and Vanny, and for them to kind of be ancillary to the game. It's like, oh, okay, that's fine. I'm okay with this, I guess. I do think that it seems like Glitch Trap is dead at the end of Security Breach, though, which again seems it's just a sad way to end it. Sorry, I don't know how to be funny, it says Just Tuggy. Me knowing my fan art will never make it to GT Live. Oh, but it did! So, joke's on you! Who's the funny one now? It's not us. I don't think anyone's funny right now. There it is. And lastly, what do we got? Danny is wanted all over. Danny Dev by the Milk Gang. You have provoked a gang war. Stop drinking milk. Delete this now. Oh no, should I know who? Danny. Who's this? Don't get it. Guess I'll drink this glass of milk. Is this? Do you know who this is? I don't recognize.
They are a creator.
Okay.
And they do create things.
Great.
And they like milk.
I mean, thank you. I put together the context clues. Thank you, Danny Milk. I'm assuming this is not them.
No, that is.
Oh, it is.
That's them.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see the face. And they are a fan of milk.
Yeah.
Great.
Do you drink milk?
YouTube banned me for 5 years. What? Oh, weird. Huh. No, I was not familiar. I will say, so this is good. I'm excited because this episode, the milk episode of Food Theory, has gotten me introduced to a lot of, apparently a lot of channels. I wasn't aware of Danny before, so now I know. But Scott Kramer, I saw him tweet at me about this, and I was not familiar with Scott Kramer's content, but in the middle of that milk episode, I'm like, Danny Gonzalez or Drew Gooden, make a video talking about milk commercials, because the milk commercials are crazy, and I'd love to see them make fun of them. I think it would be fun. We could do it on here, honestly, as a reaction kind of thing. But then Scott Kramer's like, feel personally attacked, or like feel personally called out, because he did a milk episode for himself where he was talking about the pointlessness of the ads, and it's great. And so I'm so excited to watch more of his stuff. I think, what was the other one? I started watching this one the other day, and then there was another one. I haven't had too much time to catch up, but now I actually like the show Who Done It, so I'm curious to get his take on it. And the Bo Burnham live show where Katy Perry's there, I'm excited to see him talk about that too. So anyway, I will say, Scott Kramer, I'm so glad that the milk episode introduced me, and you yourself introduced me to your channel, because now I've got a new person to watch, and I'm going to consume all your stuff, and it's going to be awesome. Super talented, by the way. At the end of this video, he does this awesome song, like a literal song that like the milk industry should use in their ads. It's fantastic. I would play it for you, but I assume that it would get me copyright stricken, but go watch his stuff and tell him that he is great and that he's really enjoyable to watch, and I hope to do something, with him, about him at some point, because it was really cool. So thank you, Scott. It's a new channel that I can watch. Hopefully it's a new channel that you can watch if you've made it to the end of this very, very long kind of meme review. Matt, any closing remarks?
I'm sorry if I was too mean to you about your television appearance.
You weren't too mean.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't disagree. I will say, the way clothing fit back then was larger than it does now. So, you attacking my suit. I mean, it wasn't that large. Here's the thing. Was it larger? Yes. Was it that large? Yeah, no, probably not.
I think when people wear larger clothes nowadays, it's a little more purposeful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fashion was finding itself. Also, in high school, who knows fashion?
Yeah, it's like...
Who knew?
Yeah.
This was also like, in the early, we were so young and naive. You guys have the internet to learn from now. You have social media to learn from now.
That is true.
And you have YouTubers to learn from
to
now.
a fault.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's there is something to be said for like the blissful ignorance that we were
Yeah, that
living
would
in.
never happen. That video that you made. Well, you didn't make that video.
Oh, I'd make that video probably
That
still.
well, that TV appearance.
I make that video literally every time I sit on this couch. Like, the cringe has not really reduced all that. My voice has gotten deeper.
Do you think that you're gonna feel similarly in however many years about the stuff that you do now?
Oh, I mean, look, I have game theory videos from 10 years ago that I
Yeah.
look at and I'm like, oh, those are pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, absolutely. You evolve as a person. You grow as a creator. You change. And your tastes change, and also what is acceptable and interesting and like of the norm changes, right? And so everyone dabbing 2 years ago, that's cringe, but like, and that was 2 years, but that was the thing that like, let's do the floss, let's do the dab. Obviously super dated, but it's one of those things that like you look back and you're like, oh, that was, I don't know about that. That was pretty cringe, but no, it was fine at the time. Like, you have to take everything in the context of the time that it was presented, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So I look at that and I'm like, yeah, it wasn't like the best representation, but it is what it is, and it's part of my past, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud that I at least tried to do something.
Yeah.
And I think
you
like
should be.
I lived without regrets. So I encourage you to live without regrets too, guys. Hopefully I see you tomorrow as part of our live stream. So just as a reminder, our live stream talking about FNAF with a bunch of YouTube creators is happening tomorrow, Saturday at, 11 Pacific, right? Which is 2 Eastern. I think that's the time. You're the one who's running it.
I'll put text on the screen.
Great, do that. We should remind them at the top of the episode too. Hey, there's a live stream tomorrow. So be there, join us. It should be a lot of fun. It'll be just a nice casual talk back. I don't expect Scott or anyone from Steel Wool to like drop any lore hints, but who knows? Maybe they will, or maybe there'll be like some info about the DLC or something. Dawko talks to them a lot, so maybe he'll like be, by the way, Matt, and he'll like pull up something. He'll be like, what, Dawko? What are you doing? So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for agreeing to go to prom with me, and I'll see you next time. So in the meantime, remember, it wasn't a live stream, but it was a video for you. See ya!